I really didn't hear much, a lot of questions, but I didn't really hear much pushback. You? I mean, I don't.
Only if you wish to tell them.
I think you're gonna find out years down the road, this is gonna give you brain cancer. So I have no idea about the solar stuff.
Our wind stream. Don't want to, they'll probably fall, but then people just miss it.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know why we don't have windmills.
Yeah, they'll probably tell.
Right.
In the 70s, they did have been and even south of South. I don't know if
You get Central Illinois, you get Springfield, wherever, then you got. There's a lot of wind in my house.
I think if they redid the same study, they would find.
So he says when we build it, so it sounds like there's a lot of hoops to jump through before we get to that point.
Footers looking for those windmills in our area. They're going to be 16 and 60 feet deep, an acre and a half. And they would definitely do. It's over just a
Yeah, and the noise, and I have no idea what's being. Solar, they don't feel strong. Wind farms, no, they.
we all might want one.
When are you gonna return? You know, tell people, if they like what they do.
Working good crowd for next information, maybe end up being significant.
You're not supposed to look down the road, Steve. You live for the moment.
I guess.
Yes, that's legit. And I'm concerned with what you do with when it's decommissioned, of whatever the word is. No longer used.
They're on that.
Where's all that stuff going? Is it gonna be landfill?
Yeah, soon.
Hello, Steve. Good, good.
Jason.
Yeah, good to meet you. Talking.
No, I'm not saying, only if you try to get
Walk on.
Even if you spend your name, you can get on those things. Any bills?
That one here. I was glad, happy to say that the girl. Before.
And he needs a reader.
Before. I know, you need to bring his class. Monroe.
Well, there is no paper. Hey, wait a second.
But no, I
Seriously,
think
that's
that's like church one.
Yes, we should get that.
It said that like it's still in, so I think that is 95 that's been first. And you're more than these three people. I can't sit there. If you find us. No, may not be that. Steven said right here. And I would help you up again. What?
Several.
Yeah, 30 minutes ahead.
Like super solo. We have.
We don't know.
They, yeah, this township road, especially this tall. They're allowed to be.
Like,
So. Gotta go to the start from the store. I was out there, I'm quite a good man. So, it's never, I've been. It's one of the rancher.
we got plans to. We like, what's the thing? Well, like, sir, you had the finance committee, you had a chair, we're gonna use somebody's like,
Oh, it's a.
I'll be had. Got the sheet here, but.
Was that $70
I don't see it, and usually I have fun, but I have. Rest of the.
It's gonna look like there's some duplicates. I'm gonna double check here. If
No, there's no, I haven't seen it. I'm saying, some of these, we did get a chance to just get them. Oh, sorry, too. Added.
Yeah.
So they want us to do building lot share that he is.
Consider it. That's what the reason.
Oh, sure.
Some addition.
Like what it says.
Fine. Especially.
Do that.
These are bigger.
Water, well, hey,
Master's.
right. Yeah. So he did.
Like I said, I know everything, so I'm adding in. Say,
Or not.
come on here.
And he's
Could have
sort of many
things.
green water. I think he's still.
Master's treasury, that was the same thing.
You know, we can pray.
What I'm just saying is that they cut off. Cut off, we got some meeting. And then had claims after that meeting. Right, sure.
I don't know. It depends on the board.
Yeah, but I have. So I'm gonna put in, oh. 10%, yeah.
And then we'll just go our count.
May have, I just say it. Yeah.
County board meeting scheduled for 9/10/2025 at 7 p.m. On session. You can pledge allegiance behind you, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which contains one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Father in heaven, we thank you for this beautiful day that you have blessed us with. God, we thank you for our community. We thank you for its citizens, for its leaders. God, we pray tonight that you will just be with us and that you will grant wisdom and guidance. Just may your presence be with us. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Blaircombe,
Present.
Dennis Graves, Alexis McFarland, President, Cindy Given, Morgan Hinton, Travis Paddock, Steve Schonert.
Quorum is present. All right, welcome, everyone. Do we have any changes to the agenda? Look for a motion to. All right, second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Information, correspondence, and upcoming meetings.
Got several. Tourism Board, which Dennis and I are members, Wednesday, 7/23 in Fairview Heights at 12 p.m. Don't know how I'm gonna do it. The 911 Board, also 7/23, 9 a.m. fire station. Jed's, Wednesday, 8/6, right here, 10 a.m. Public Safety, Thursday, 8/7, here at 8:30 a.m. The 708 Board resumes in August. Steve, 708 Board,
It'll be in August, yeah.
okay. And TV board. Brian, do you know offhand the next meeting?
They're talking about it Tuesday night, but it's not set.
Okay, just, those are mine.
Steve, do we have a finance date set yet for the next meeting? No. Okay. All right. Any other meetings? That was a lot. Okay, I've got a general statement from the board I would like to read under correspondence regarding animal control. Over the last 6 months, Public Safety Committee has been working diligently to enhance our animal control program. Using ARPA funds, we have a new office and kennel facility on Lafayette Street. With these new facilities, we're now focused on the goal of improving animal control operations while balancing the requirements of Illinois statutes with cost-effective solutions. As part of the ongoing effort, we've made personnel changes to meet the goals. We are also pursuing formal partnerships with animal welfare organizations, including a memorandum of understanding with Claws and Paws. We hope to finalize this agreement soon to improve animal welfare across our county and clarify the expectations of each entity involved. Once this agreement is finalized, it will be available to the public. We value public input and look forward to hearing any feedback on this matter. Also, please note, personnel matters are confidential and we will not be discussing them. Is there any other information or correspondence? All right. Seeing none, we will move to open, and I believe Cindy has some comments.
Good evening. I'm really happy to see a lot of people here as I put out the chairs, and I was hoping that that would mean something. My name is Cindy. My name is Cynthia Given. You can call me Cindy. I had a long statement prepared, and I cannot in good conscience take more of your time than you guys would as members of the community, so I'm going to try to limit it to 3 minutes. I am available pretty much anytime for any elaboration. The board asked me to clarify our county's animal services. Our two goals are to separate government from private organization, and then number 2, to protect taxpayer dollars. My personal goal is to be a point person to help you navigate the system, because a lot of you are here maybe for the first time and have some questions. I know one thing to clarify with public comment, it is one way. The confusion seems to be from ongoing blurred lines between animal control and Claws and Paws, and I hope to clear some of this up, but if not, I'm here anytime. 2 people previously worked as at-will part-time employees only for cleaning and feeding at the county shelter and were terminated last month. They were allowed to continue to rescue for Claws and Paws, but rescues are separate and carried out by Claws and Paws, not the county. Brinkley stated after termination she wished to continue handling services. I asked her myself on public record, and she was given a chance to opt out. Brinkley is listed on an IRS Form 990 for Claws and Paws as working exactly 40 hours per week. She's listed as the only officer effectively signing her own checks. Since Claws and Paws began handling rescue operations, the county has seen adoption revenue dwindle to nothing, almost nothing. Meanwhile, our records show Claws and Paws was given an opportunity to formalize a new written agreement after the old one expired. I found that the old one was expired, and I tried to get a new one. I emailed Shelley twice for basic contact information to begin an agreement. She never replied. When asked in my committee meeting, she admitted to the delay and cited an attorney was maybe getting involved, and I have not heard anything. What's been posted online is not just inaccurate, it's very disappointing. Nobody's ever questioned Shelley's dedication for the animals, but I don't appreciate the false accusations. So if you see a questionable post, you can email the state's attorney. It's statesattorney@richlandcounty.illinois.gov. And since the state's attorney is not here, I request that contracts be submitted to the August agenda of the Health and Public Safety Committee, and if that committee agrees, we will refer it to the state's attorney for review. I also want the public to know you can reach the board at 618-617-1041 or email me directly at cgiven@richlandcounty.illinois.gov. I will stay late after the public safety meeting to help anyone who needs assistance, filing a FOIA, questions on any public documents, or honestly, to answer any questions about how any of this works, because public comment is one direction and I want to give you guys some answers. As for animal control, I'd like anyone interested in attending our upcoming open house, volunteering for our new foster net program to email richlandcounty.illinois.gov. And I'll say this, today is my 100th day of being cancer-free, and I've had cancer twice since joining this board, so I don't mind a little heat because I'm tough and I can handle it. I will always fight for the truth for Richland County, and I hope that you all can get some answers for the questions. I am here to help, and thank you very much. Oh, I have some paperwork, Amanda. It didn't get passed out, but we can pass it out now. Sorry. But I hope that helps. You got some paperwork.
There's 4 different. There's 10 copies of 4 different.
You will have
I
to
need to
share.
make copies.
Email me, and I will give you a copy.
Okay.
Okay, so under open, we have clause and pause on the agenda. Hey, Shelley. You're on the agenda, so you're up.
Founder, President, Pause and Pause, Karen only. I'd like to introduce Elena Hatfield, who is my spokesperson. She's also our vet tech that's on site, along with what you do for us. Committee board member. She does about everything, fundraiser committee. So she is going to come up and speak and explain a little bit regarding the proposal that we had given you. I would also like to emphasize, I have a secretary and a treasurer. I do not sign my own checks. And my $100 a week is what I receive. Sherry Ratcliffe Gibson is our secretary treasurer, and she does sign those checks.
So we didn't know, well, I know it's one way, so I guess you guys may not answer, which is totally fine. We submitted a proposal. We did give you guys the revised proposal for tonight. Basically, as Cynthia knows, there are several concerns that I have with animal control and actually the way it's been operating for several years. So there's supposed to be a meeting at some point where her and I can talk about that. The proposal that we are talking about is actually having animal control contract out to Claws and Paws. So overall, it's going to save the county money because it is about half of the county's budget that was spent in 2025 for animal control. Basically, we would be taking calls unless like an officer needs to be present for like a dangerous situation, that kind of thing. 24/7. Basically 24/7. If it is, we would be following Richland County ordinances. Bite cases have to have a legal exam. They have to be then released. As far as state laws, I've spoken with the state vet already. We would be taking and boarding these animals at Claws and Paws so that way that they would be more likely to find a home. As we know that animal control is actually not technically for saving animals. It is a public safety concern. People often get it, confused with rescue. So as far as that goes, it would be really good. So that way, because we know that the public is not allowed at the animal control right now, and they haven't been for a long time. So unless those animals have been pulled, from Claws and Paws, then they either don't find homes, they are euthanized, that kind of thing. So that would be on the getting animals taken care of. That would mean Claws and Paws would be spending their money on vaccines, veterinary care, food, water, even just shelter the facility there. We would be, I mean, we would, if we're contracted out, then we could legally be responsible for taking care of those bite cases. It would also, free up space at animal control for the ones that have to be impounded, because honest, we know that that happens. We would also be able to, furnish a representative to be at these meetings, so that way, it would be somebody who knows what's going on, somebody to talk, make sure that we have all the licensing. Basically, all that we would be asking is, for the county to contract us out, be able to, supplement, obviously, financially. Really, the only thing we would need is law enforcement for possible citations for people who are not following the ordinances, state or county. And, for like dangerous situations. And then, that would be something like dispatch, instead of them calling directly at Paws and Paws, because nobody's there, 24 hours a day, then dispatch would be able to strictly get a hold of like Shelley and Ernie. And then, be able to talk with the state's attorney, so that way we can make sure that we are following all the ordinances and stuff. And kind of go from there. So as far as that goes, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to ask, but is this something that we are, like, is this something that you guys will have to discuss and get back to us? Is this something that,
So this was provided in a different version back in June, so I think I would recommend letting the Public Safety Committee look at this again and then
Yeah, we can do it.
go forward. I think that's what my recommendation would be.
okay, so it is something that the county would actually still consider it. Okay,
Yeah. I do need a point person because Shelley has not returned my emails in a while. Are you gonna be the point person?
I can show you what actually happened. When I responded to your email, it's on here last week. It went just to Cheryl, because you know how it was CC'd to all of us? I
No.
have it on here where it says, here is my number and I will accept calls. It's on here.
She did respond.
I did respond. It did not go to you.
All good. I didn't know there was any CC of anything because I only emailed the email you sent me and the email available through social media through your page.
Right.
So-
Cheryl's on my board, so I had her in there with those messages. So somehow it got sent to her. And I mean, there'd be no reason for me to say, here's my phone number and I'll accept all calls, as long as I'm able.
To clarify, Shelley, when I asked you during the public meeting, the story was a little different.
Yes,
and
and
you
it
told
was.
me that
An
you were
attorney.
going to get an attorney,
Yes,
and I still haven't heard anything.
yes.
Okay.
that is something, I mean, honestly, that is still good.
If I will, a quick question. Can you bring the audits with you for Paws and Paws? Can you? Okay, that's fine. I don't have anything else. We'll talk about it in committee.
So talk about it in committee, and then, how would I go about either setting up a meeting about my concerns with animal control and everything that's been going on?
Just come to committee. I'll put you on the agenda.
I would come to Public Safety.
Okay, because I have a year's worth of stuff.
Go for it.
Not great.
Just, if you want copies, make sure that it's sent 2 days in advance. Do you
Is
have?
that to you?
Yeah, because you can send it to Amanda to make sure we have copies. Is that all right?
It's just HOyer@richlandcounty.illinois.gov.
You know how I said like C given or state's attorney, whatever?
Yeah, just all the
That's
first initial then last name,
the same. No periods, no dashes, no nothing.
or just call the office.
We can do that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we will shift to public comment. If you're on the list and you don't want to speak, you don't have to. I'd remind you, you have 3 minutes. You need to address the board as a whole, and public comment is not really a period where we're under obligation to answer questions. It's not a Q&A, it's just for you to talk to us. So, Karen Winkles.
Hi there. My name is Karen Winkles. I rise to voice concerns about the Richland County Board and elected officials' familiarity with the requirements of the Open Meetings Act. This came to my attention when I was reading the June 26th newspaper story about the animal control discussions where the statement, personnel items had to be discussed in executive session is attributed to Chairman Paddock. This is a very common misconception. Actually, while the Open Meetings Act identifies 39 separate topics which are eligible for consideration in closed session, in 3 separate places in the Act, it states that entering into closed session is optional. It is not a requirement. To be sure, there are probably many, many good reasons for the county board to, or any public body, to enter into closed session, but there is absolutely no requirement to do so. And if the county board chooses to enter into closed session, there's a very specific process to do so that doesn't appear to be being followed. I took a look through the county board section of the county's website and found 3 other areas where it appears the county might not be complying or be familiar with the requirements of the Open Meetings Act, related to the notice of public meetings, posting of minutes to the county's website, and review of closed meeting minutes. I brought examples of these possible instances of noncompliance and the complete text of the Open Meetings Act. Thank you for the opportunity to comment, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if that's allowed at this time. And I'll give this to you, Amanda, or Travis.
Yeah, thank you.
You can thumb wrestle it. Thank you.
Kim Cool. Thank you. Gwen Gassman. Okay.
Gary Brainerd.
Yes, there we go. Yes.
Gary Brainerd, even if you can't read my writing.
Sorry.
As some of you probably know, I've been around Richland County a long time, 74 years worth. And one of the biggest problems that has keep arising is the animal control situation. Every few years, it seems to rear its head, but lately it had been working good. I mean, paws and claws people, they work hard. They're dedicated to the animals, and they are good people. I will say that. I would like for whatever issues are here for the people of Paws and Claws and the county board to sit down and work out an agreement, work together, put a Band-Aid on whatever hard feelings we got, and move forward. I think they're doing a good job. Their heart's into their service, and I really believe that it would be hard pressed to find other people that will be as dedicated to them, to the animals, as they are. And I really hope that we can smooth the waters and move forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Mike's on it.
I want to clarify, I'm not just like texting, I'm doing the timer.
Lindsay Clark. Good. Rhonda Haston. Sorry.
My name's Rhonda Haston. First and foremost, I'm transplanted from Detroit, Michigan. I've been here in Illinois for about 20 years now. I've worked with rescues all over. My passion is with animals. I've worked with Shelly and Ernie for a little over 2 months, almost daily. I've seen the dedication they have to the animals. My biggest concern since I've been in this state, though, is the lack of dedication from the county and the boards. I'm used to things running totally different up in Michigan. We have care for our animals. We don't allow things to slide that I have seen slide around here. When complaints are made, it's addressed. When it's given to the state's attorney, it's not, oh, you surrendered your animals, so we're gonna drop it. They're prosecuted so that the animals don't go through that same hardship and another animal's put in that position with that owner. How many times have you been given a case saying, hey, look, this needs to be dealt with, and yet you choose not to prosecute? That is something that really does need to be addressed in my opinion. And I know it's just my opinion, and that may not mean a lot to a lot of people, but it does mean something to me because of how much we care for the animals. And I don't know all of the situation between everything, and I kind of just stay to myself as much as possible. I just really wish something would be able to work out so that the animals that are in need get the need that they, and the care that they are. And there are people here that are willing to work and sacrifice. I have a dog that I'm fostering for them that had I not taken this dog, it would be put down right now. But he is doing wonderfully well in my care. He's lost me, and who knows, within the next month or two, he may find his forever home. And yeah, that may break my heart a little bit, but it's gonna make my heart grow more. And that's what working with animals is all about doing, because our animals are just like our children, even more so than our own children, because they don't have a voice to speak up. They can't come in here and say, hey, you did me wrong. They can't get on that stand and say, you hurt me. Somebody has to step up and be their voice. And we just want the opportunity to give Shelley and Ernie that opportunity that they're asking for. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Carla Patterson?
No comment.
Okay.
Shelley?
Shelley?
That was.
Okay, so that was you and Elena both? Okay, Lisa Tarpley. Okay. Carol Sanderson. Got it? Pam Carter?
I'm Pam Carter, and I was raised here and only, but left here years ago. And up until, it'll be 2 years in November that I retired from the city of Albion. I was animal control there for 8.5 years. So I have had the opportunity to work with several shelters, rescues, and other animal controls all over the state. I will have to say that I've got 3 shelters that I work with more than anybody, because you could call them and they would be there for that animal. My space down there was very limited. So I didn't have a nice facility like this town's got. I had a little old building that I strung heat lamps across the rafters in the wintertime to keep these dogs and cats warm from freezing to death. I worked 7 days a week. I set traps for wildlife. I set traps for anything that come in. I was on call 7 days a week. Some days I would get home after a hard day's work and get called back out at 9 o'clock at night. Didn't matter to me, because that was my job. As animal control, you need to be working for the animals. Yes, you work for that city, but you need to be for the animals, because we're the only people out here in the field that's going to help those animals. Shelley and Ernie have helped me multiple times. And if it hadn't have been for them, those animals would have probably been put down. But I had nowhere to put them. I had nowhere to turn. And I knew I could call them, and that animal, it would get placed somewhere in another rescue, or they would find a home for it. And there's a process. Some people don't understand that process, and as animal control, I understand that, because I had people come and say, well, if you've got this dog, I'll take the dog. Well, it don't work that way. You've got to follow a procedure to get that dog. A lot of people don't understand it, so therefore she gets a backlash because, well, I would have took that dog and she wouldn't let me have it. Well, it just don't work that way. That's why so many dogs get turned around and back to animal control, because people will adopt them or say, one of you have a dog, you want to get rid of it today. Okay, she'll take it. 2 weeks later, Shelley gets a call, or animal control gets a call. That dog is either beat half to death, starved half to death, or it's running loose. Or the person that adopted it didn't want it no more. We just don't have the time. I dedicated my life to my job, just like police officers dedicate theirs to their job. And you can ask anybody in Albion or Edwards County. I was, not bragging, but I was in the Illinois Animal Control Association magazine 2 years in a row for doing my job. And since I've moved up here, and I'm not talking against my hometown, I haven't seen anything positive about an animal control in this town. And this town's 3 times bigger now than. I don't understand what the problem is. If Shelley and her crew is willing to help these animals and help you guys and everybody work together, that's probably your best bet. I don't think you're gonna find anybody anywhere, even an animal control officer, that's gonna be any more dedicated to these people here. And I just wanted to get up. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I haven't been here long enough to really know what's going on yet, other than what I've seen. So far, I haven't seen an animal control person anywhere. The truck sits down there at the building all the time. I called a couple times about animals, and the animal control didn't even show up. And the dog was out in the hot sun, no water on concrete. So I called again. City Hall said, we'll get a hold of it. Well, I waited and waited, nobody came. I called Closing Paws. They helped me. We got that animal some help. If you don't want an animal, don't get it. There's no law that says you gotta get an animal. But if you do, we gotta have people out here that's dedicated, not only to the people they're working for, but the animals. So I think you really need to take into consideration to try to help this town and get somebody that's dedicated to their job. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Pam. Cindy Forrester. Okay, all right. We've made it through the list. Anybody?
Did anybody miss that we had to sign in? Did anybody else want to speak?
All right. Thank you, everybody.
The comments you guys had before, how do we get a copy of this? Okay.
She's got them. Okay,
The ones you passed out?
I think so, yeah.
Anything.
It's got one paper, they kind of all.
Okay.
Anything.
Okay.
We've got them all.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else under open? All right, that gets us to the consent agenda items. I would look for a,
Motion to approve consent agenda.
I will second that.
we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion passes. All right, Steve, Finance Committee.
Yes, first on claims, you should have gotten a report here late in the afternoon on the claim.
You're working on it.
No, take a breath.
You get the best one. But I got to eat.
Thank you. Steve. All right.
You get what?
So we have lots of open chairs.
That'll be it to you.
Steve, you found the seat. I looked and you were gone.
That'll sound alarm.
No,
It'll sound alarm. Sorry.
Stealthy.
I didn't see those legs. And I thought,
Make sure when it gets back, guys.
Oh,
What's his name?
Jesse.
Yeah, he is out there waiting.
Pause this now. Pause a little.
For a seat. He just wants to sit. I just wanted him the chance to sit if he wanted. He said he did.
Okay, you ready, Steve?
Yes, again, we're been toying with the idea of changing our finance committee meeting time, and so there's a few things that we're still working the kinks out of. But you did get a claims report here tonight through the 10th through today. We looked, our finance committee met Monday. We didn't have all of these claims listed Monday. Once we did look at it, we get through any of the claims, but then looking at the adjusted list, there's a couple of additions. I verified that, so if it's all right with the finance committee, I'm going to go ahead and just present the claims as received through 7/10. Basically, it's totaled county claims, $252,301.39. Non-county claims, $350,834.84. I will submit those claims for approval. I make a motion to approve those claims.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
The only other item is that, just a reminder that we will begin the budget process here. We'll be sending out an email to all the county officials and officers, and the budget will start here August 1st, so that we'll have about a month to give the officials about a month to put together a budget, and then the finance committee will, first part of September, then start looking at those budget and working on the budget for the 25-26 year. So other than that, that's all I've got.
Thanks, Steve. Sheriff's report, Andy, you got anything?
Nothing exciting. You all got my file report. If there's any questions, I can answer for you. Just the sheriff's office. I think everything's going well. Everybody's got his office back. I was in the academy. Everybody that's
He's here.
we still have
Like 85%, all right?
he's back. That's what matters. We still have one in the academy. I think he's 7 weeks in, so he's got several more weeks to go. Hopefully he'll be ready to go as soon as they get him back here. I think the latter part of August is when he's supposed to be done. Got one of our squad cars back that we had getting upfitted. Got it back today. It's over in Florida getting striped. And the other one's, the 25 is still being upfitted now, so hopefully it'll be done soon. Still waiting on parts that's been ordered. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot, so.
The radio project.
The radio project is ongoing. These were the bids that we had discussed at one other meeting. We pivoted on those because these were for DMR digital radio systems. We've decided that we want to go with P25 digital, which is basically what the government recommends, or doesn't necessarily require, but recommends for public safety. So we've reissued new requests for purchases or requests for bids. Those are due, I think, come up real quick, maybe on the, I'd like to, we have a pre-bid meeting coming up, and then the bids are due, I think, the end of July. And then sometime in the middle of August is when we're going to accept those bids. We talked earlier, I think we're gonna try to have a meeting with the city, a joint meeting with the city to try to discuss which direction we go. But our goal is to switch to P25 instead of DMR and have 2 repeater systems out in the county. One would be P25 digital, one would be analog for the fire departments. Then the county side would be the P25 digital, then have a second P25 system within the city limits as well. So we're still gonna be short on some cash, so that may be something the city county has to sit down and discuss as well. I don't know how much until the bids come in, but I mean, I could probably guess to be anywhere from 150 to 200,000 maybe. And if we are short, the only thing we can do is back off on what we're getting, but what we're getting is what we need, so we encourage to try to find additional funding.
Right.
Morgan had texted me this week because he had went to a Greater Regional Wabash planning meeting. And he was talking to them about it, and it sounded like maybe they had some areas they could apply for grants, that maybe there's some other money out there.
Yeah,
He
I
didn't
went to
say
that meeting.
specifically, but
Yeah.
but yes, he texted me and asked me if we were still moving forward. And I said, yes, I mean, we still need money, so any funding that we can find or get would be helpful, both city and county. Other than that, that's all I got.
All right, thank you. That gets us to county clerk's report.
I just replaced myself with the state's attorney.
All right.
So, just an update. So we were approved for a grant for the handicapped ramp in the front of the courthouse. We accepted a bid. We accepted Bergstrom Concrete and Construction's bid for that. I left a voicemail today with him to see if we have a estimated time frame of when he's going to start. We were able to get a little bit additional money, and they're going to do some handicap parking on the east side, which involved a lot more work than so I didn't get the money to do our dream parking, but at least it will be ADA compliant. So there'll be 2 new spots on the east side of the parking lot. The ramp will go to the east side. And then we also had enough money to do a new front door, so it will be a sliding door. We accepted a bid from D&H Glass Services in Vincennes. And it will just be a large sliding door. So, and I think that's about it. So hopefully, I mean, the start time is hopefully soon. So.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
That gets us to animal control. She's not here, certainly, we don't have any more there. All right, Danny, highway business?
Just one electric thing that came up since the road bridge committee. We did, I got informally contacted from our OSHA inspector. He told us that we had addressed all our citation issues and good, and he would send out a letter to Travis saying that we addressed our issues. The training that we had, the junior college for us, we paid that bill and we've been reimbursed. We got a grant to reimburse it, and that reimbursement's already showed up. Junior college also did some training for one of my guys. One of my guys come to upgrade his Class B CDL to Class A. We sent him over to the truck driving school at Noble, about 20 hours, and that's been taken care of. He tested, got his Class A. We've got billed for that. We'll pay that bill next month, and then I get reimbursed for that expense as well. Through the same grant that we got the notice training. That's all been sorted out. That's all I add to the minute.
All right, thank you. Board committee reports. We'll start with IT.
Well, trajectory on what's going on with CISA federal funding that we for that. CISA lost a lot of funding. CISA is looking for services, cybersecurity services and such, and services for the state, and the state of Illinois is grants us a lot of those services. So I want to make sure that they're not out anytime soon. It was a very meeting, really nice to sit with all of my counterparts from state, local governments, some people federal government, some people from county. Everybody has a pretty rosy outlook right now. The state of Illinois, so far right now, I'm still talking to my state resources. The state of Illinois is going to continue. Right now, we're not going to pay anything extra out of pocket. If that changes, obviously, you guys will be the first ones to anticipate any changes in the foreseeable future.
But overall, CISA does continue to offer, again, through their cybersecurity programs, does continue to offer some very robust services that we're, I think, provide. So even if we didn't end up paying out of pocket all in advance, that it's lower. It's secure today without what the state has provided from the government. On the more local stuff, the sheriff mentioned the radio project. Along with that, last board meeting, we talked about some needs for security access control to the jail, body scanners, health scanners, and max cell. And speaking with Ryan, the sheriff, we're going to make a consolidated list of random counties. You guys have a very concise version of all of the things that all what they cost and whatever prioritize those. We can start it. Expect that to go right on there. Quick blurb on the website. Like I mentioned last time, was at like 200 unique local engaged sessions over the last month, and all that is to say, our local constituents are just not counting against us from Pakistan or into Southern Chicago or Indiana or whatever. People in Richland County and surrounding areas, so that's pretty good. One last thing, you may be aware of an incident that we had with the courthouse power at the end of June. Basically, somebody put the switch on the courthouse and turned our power off. Discussed with the sheriff, spoke with Darren Harmon, fire chief, spoke with Cameron, spoke with Chad Schmidt, the kids electrician. What we decided is that switch is like that. So now it's locked in the pocket station. I provide for the fire department and board. So that should not be an issue. Oddly enough, the same thing happened to the health office. And they had the same signature, which was the login. So if that's the first you're hearing of that, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's okay. The problem has been resolved. So, yeah. Oh, one other thing, just alongside that, with the power being turned off, I was talking about things in the courthouse that are critical equipment. Most of the stuff that I knew is covered by our courthouse generator. Some stuff, for instance, the probation current cooler is not covered by that generator. So I am discussing with Jack Sheets and hopefully Schultz, rewiring some circuits to get our critical equipment on the generator. So more on that next week.
So our generator isn't a whole
It's
building
not
generator.
much smaller.
Oh, okay.
It's very limited. It controls their controls right now our alarm panels and everything in our server room because all of it is patched up. We have a whole building generator. I don't know that it's financial.
Well, we have 3 generators on site. One of them is capable of running both of these buildings, but it wasn't wired that way. I don't, maybe the electrician could be asked to see what that would take, but this one behind here can run this whole city block, but it doesn't.
And there are batteries for
And I'm not so sure these 2 over here, one of them couldn't run the whole courthouse. They just weren't wired that way.
Okay.
They belong to the regional office of education. I mean, it was put in there to put a computer room on the 3rd floor.
Oh, I see it. They're not.
Okay.
But that's a good idea. That's ask.
And I don't know if there's a way to wire this one over there or not. I mean, we got conduit running between the 2 buildings, so.
Oh, so that's my list when I discussed it. Like, I already got a look at all.
Good.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Questions?
No, just still reflecting on the health building.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Got it.
Leave a power switch open and somebody's mad.
What is it? Okay, Corey, was it the same day? Sorry, before I crash out, just answer me that. No. Okay. A different day. Okay, got it.
Just like
Okay.
We do have the gentleman that did the courthouse on camera. It's not close enough to identify him per se. Yeah, we believe we know who he is. We've had other issues at the courthouse. At one point, we thought someone was maybe sleeping in the little foyer areas. So they were checking at nights to see if they weren't. We had someone urinated in the front foyer area at nighttime. And we think it's the same individual because we have him on camera, but it's just not able to say 100%. But it's something that we're looking into.
Okay.
But yeah, and there was some ink or something spilled on the east side foyer there. it's paint or ink or something that was poured in that foyer area. All this is occurring after hours, probably after dark. The power wasn't, it was right at dusk probably when they killed the power. The courthouse was closed at the time, but, they found out the next morning and they got the generator was running.
And we could turn it into a report office, put cameras everywhere, but there already are cameras, there should be enough to deter somebody, and the cameras really aren't gonna, like the sheriff just said.
You're right, they're
You
not.
can see somebody coming up, you can see somebody doing that shot, that's what they kind of sort of face, it becomes investigating, so it's the news really for this. We'll discuss and come back to you, decide that what makes sense. That is all I have.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Corey. Shelley, do you have anything? Okay. Any other board committee reports? Do we have any old business? That gets us to new business. Approval of solar farm special use permit for new energy equity solar farm project on Seals property on Van Road in Olney Township. Any discussion? Do we have, Danny, do we have enough information? Have they done everything that we asked them to do?
We have enough information, I believe, to vote on the special use permit, and I don't see any problems that arose with our ordinance requirements. There are some things in the ordinance requirement that have not been done, and it's just a matter of the way the developers design. They're just not that far into the design yet, but they understand, and I would suggest that the board understand if you issue the special use permit, that it is conditioned that all provisions of the county ordinance are completed before construction begins. That's the only thing that I would ask.
Well, Chairman, I will make a motion to that effect then, subject to the conditions as Danny stated.
Okay.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. All right.
I was trying to.
Steve made the motion, Cindy seconded it.
Thank you.
And it's contingent on
Yes.
everything, okay.
Yep.
All right, do we need an
Thank
executive
you.
session? Executive session? All right, then we look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?